up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, Profab Headers and Exhaust, and Earl Ramey Racing Engines. What's going on, guys? I'm David.
I'm Connor.
What's up, man?
Not a whole lot this week. We ran on one big winter race for us, and that, so we're off for a little while. So
We got
not a whole lot going racing way this week.
a few weeks here. We got I was looking. The Icebreaker don't have Charger or Legends on the
Really?
schedule.
Yeah.
So
Last year the Legends didn't do too good, but that was also a day that
well, and that's why they didn't
faced
put 'em
rain
on.
all day.
Yeah, that's right. That's
So
right.
there ended up being only 5 of us out there.
Yeah. Well, also I think it's the somebody says the same week as the Winter National down in Citrus.
So many Legends nationals I can keep up
I'm
with.
telling you. So, but anyway, so we got a few weeks. Got a few weeks here, which is good because I needed a few weeks to do some stuff. So what's been up with you? Back to school? How's all
Back
that?
to school, going fine so far. Starting college classes back, so having a little more work for a couple weeks here, but they're both 8-week classes. So after that, we'll be about done.
You'll
with
be
everything.
home free at that point.
It'll be really easy at that point. So, yep, a little bit more schoolwork than usual, but not too bad right now.
Soccer started up.
Still conditioning and stuff. It'll start up. I think we'll start actual practicing end of this month or maybe 1st of February. So that's about it right now.
Fun. Well, I hope everybody's got. It's actually pretty comfortable tonight.
not too bad.
Today felt good, but I think the rest of the week gonna be cold.
So Saturday will be, or this weekend is going to get cold again and all.
Yeah, it is. And we got the. Are you going over to Dillon for the rules meeting?
I don't know.
I think
I just have to see what's going on that day. I don't know.
I'm gonna head over there after church. I think Sunday,
I think the Chargers aren't supposed to start till
3 o'clock.
Is that what it was? I was
Yeah,
gonna say 4. So
3, and then the Legends is 4.
Okay.
So I was like, well, if we get there by 3, we'll be out.
I've never been to one. I don't know. Have you been to?
I have not.
So
I went to a. This was years and years and years ago. I think it was one for Timmonsville. I mean, like way back.
Yeah.
But they had it at Darlington, and one of the media
Yeah.
things out there because it was heated because we really wouldn't know where to have it at Florence back in the day. So they would have it over there, but that's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's
Supposedly, it's in a heated tire building, so we'll see how much that is. You can tell me about it, maybe.
yeah, it better be heated because it's gonna be cold. That's good though. I figured we could talk about that a little bit. I mean, we I know and the reason Ron's having this is because he wants people's opinion on what's going on and what'll be better for the sport and stuff like that. Because I think there's personally, I think there's a couple things going on just in general, not at any certain track. Yeah. For certain classes, it's kind of leading in a, I ain't gonna say bad direction, just a not so good direction for the competitors.
Yeah.
But in saying that, from what I saw, I'm just gonna say Florence Motor Speedway this year with Chargers, I think they're going back in a right direction.
Oh yeah. Surprisingly, really, but
yeah. And I'm kind of hoping, me personally, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of hoping that Dillon can kind of follow suit and maybe that be that difference. Biggest thing, I think one of the biggest things, and I saw it and I was like, man, I didn't even really think of that. I guess just because I hadn't been in it long enough to really think about it. But Florence is going back to a 4-inch ride height.
I thought that was a can that would once they got out, the toothpaste got out the tube, it wasn't going back in. But
Right.
I'm definitely glad it was.
Me too, and I really think that is going to be that could be the difference that we need between Charger, Challenger, and late model, limited late model.
Limited guys don't want to go on a 4-inch rule.
No.
They've been off of that for years,
and that's
now.
great.
Yeah.
And that's great. If you want to be on limited, perfect. But I don't think I think Charger still needs to be 4-inch ride height, and I think that's because you can't. And I go ahead and say it. A lot of people say it. Because Lil Ricky, and great for Lil Ricky this past year. Hey, if the rules let you run 2 races, great for you. I told Connor a few times, I was like, hey man, I think you should just go out there regardless. Keep the same carburetor and everything.
I think we got a better long run car anyways.
That's what I'm saying.
Probably got that.
So So I mean, great for them, but I don't think it's a good look for a track to have a car be able to run two classes like that. Same car and the same rules basically fit, other than such minute stuff that So I personally think like that 4-inch ride height that could be the.
It's gonna be a differentiator.
Yeah,
it's gonna split it for sure.
It will be. What anything that you've seen in the rules and stuff that you would like to, say going in 2024 and you go to a rules meeting, if you did, or if you don't, I can say it for you. Is there anything you would like to see?
Not really, other than Dylan never went to the, Florence started having the Harringtons and Enforcers coming in, and that was kind of like, whoa, like that's a motor you about have to get on. And so Dylan never went that far, so I don't think Dylan was still holding on to some of the old Charger rules. I'd like to see him get together on some stuff would probably be the biggest thing for me. There's a couple difference between the track that just seems unnecessary, and I think hurts it. Yeah. I doubt either one of them's going to want to budge, but that's the main thing. I wish they would both get together to a little more.
Well, I get the fact that Florence kind of can't for the most part because they're under NASCAR sanction, and a lot of these classes have a NASCAR rule book.
Yeah.
Late model stock has a NASCAR rule book. Charger is kind of one of those that can kind of swing from track to track. There is a section in the rule book, but there's a lot of gray areas that the tracks can.
Dylan was really one of the first people to have a Challenger class, and you see a lot of, I think Caraway and a lot of these other tracks in North Carolina that have a Challenger class is built off of the Dylan's class. See, it used to just be we run Dylan Motor Speedway rules. Some of them still probably say that. So there's, I don't know. I just hope there's not too much in between, but I feel like it's just kind of weird how there's almost no car that runs both track, even though they're 40 minutes away, really, outside of us.
Yeah, I was going to say us. And to do it, you basically have to have a very particular motor setup to be able to go
run
from
both,
one track. Yeah. Like mine, Charger car, late model stock. The late model stock type engine. Those motor packages
they're pretty similar,
almost the same with everything from track to track, but I think the
crates, the weight and carburetor difference.
Yeah, weight,
everything.
Carburetor. Yeah, exactly. So, I would like to see them kind of get on the same page personally, to for the guys that can run. I mean, we're pretty much. Me and you both, where our cars are, we're almost dead in between each track.
Yeah, 30 minutes. We're really blessed to be like that.
That's what I'm saying. So, and that's the funny thing is, I think if some of the rules were similar, a lot of guys that run Dillon only would probably come to Florence, and if they were similar, likewise, they would go from Florence to Dillon. So, I think it works out for everybody personally.
You got anything you plan on raising?
I don't know. I'm thinking I'm kind of the same way about legend cars. And this is going off of not knowing what they're going to have to say, what Ron's going to have to say about it already. So, it could be a question that's answered in something that he's already got thought out, which would be great. I don't know this for a fact. I think they're going INX sanctioned. I think. I do know. The only thing I know is that they have one of their tech guys there did go get his INX certification.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going INX sanctioned, but that just kind of points in that direction. I mean, if they don't, great. You guys still know the rules. We're still going to go off INX rules. That's great. My biggest thing is we got to figure out a tire situation for the legend cars.
Yeah. Which is not only Dillon. I mean, no INX track has tires available either.
And that's my problem is kind of every other class. There's a tire rule of some sort, whether, guys are getting 4 scuffs like we do on the Charger or Challenger. Late models, I guess they get 4 tires now.
Right.
or Dillon?
I think it's 2-2.
2-2. Yeah. Okay. Which is great. Florence, you got your. I think the limiteds this year are going to get 2-2. Or they're either going to run the same kind of schedule that the Charger did last year with the. You buy 2 each week, and your old 2 become your scuffs from the previous week. But Charger's going to be back on all 4 scuffs, I hear, over there. But there's no tire rule for legend cars other than, run these Hoosiers, and they can't read under a certain durometer reading. That's all well and good, but they're just not available.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think that's, like you said, that's not necessarily a track problem per se, but at the same time it is because from what I gather, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but from what I gather, an INEX sanctioned facility typically can get so many tires. So my thought is if you can get so many tires, let's get it on some sort of tire rule.
Yeah, I wish I could get some more of even the Hoosier 800 tires, but I think they can barely stock mini stocks with those.
They claimed they had all they wanted this year.
Yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
So we'll see.
I'm fine with that. Even the 790s or whatever it was. Whatever we can get, I'm fine as long as we can all get it.
I remember whenever we first started running Legends around here again, one of those first races, half of the tires were all over. There was Federals, there was 800s, there was INEXs. I wish there does need to be some tire continuity or something.
Yeah. Well, you saw it, and I ain't making an excuse by no means. But we got out there at the bash at Dillon and ran practice and stuff, and all of a sudden everybody around us puts on brand new tires, and I'm like, whoa, where'd y'all get those from? I don't have any of those. And so Connor brought me a set, not brand new, but you had what? Well, pretty much brand new.
Yeah, they only had probably 25 laps on the right sides at least.
So it was like, man, I guess they're available somewhere. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'd like to go away from the kind of. I like to do something different about qualifying over there.
Well, I think they plan on qualifying us this year.
Are they going to plan on qualifying? Okay,
that's what. That's what the rumor was. I don't know.
If
for sure or not. Yeah.
I don't
care if we qualify and redraw top 5 and start a heat race that way.
Yeah. I'd be fine with running a heat race, but let's take our second round of practice times.
Yeah.
I'm saying start the heat race that way.
Yeah. I've never liked that. I like it better than not doing anything at all, but that second round of practice is kind of.
Oh yeah, it could be all over the board.
Yeah, but
you could go out there and try something, and it really.
Well, you just got to count it as qualifying. You can't even say it's practice. Really, you just qualify how many ever laps you want.
But I just think we need to do something different to line up for the heat race because it can be fun, I guess, but there's been times this year that that's been a scary situation.
People don't need to be starting up there.
Yeah. You got some guys, that's never been on pole for anything, and I ain't talking junk about them, but they probably don't need to be on pole for anything. Yet. Not yet, anyway. And they're like, ooh, I got a pole for something. Then they go in the corner, 12 mile an hour slower than everybody else, and everybody on that running over.
Stacked up.
Yeah. I get it. We all got to drive around them, but it just makes it tough for a
it's just
7-lap heat race.
Especially a narrow track and kind of hard to pass anyway. So
yeah, for sure it is. But so I think that I don't know. I think that's about it as far as what I want to hear about. Mm-hmm. I think there's going to be a lot to talk about over there this year, as far as all the classes. They're starting a TNL class.
Yeah, so I was trying to get that back going.
Which would be good, but I hear they wanting, which I mean, Ron put on there. That's what he want to talk about because some of the guys from Florence said they would love to run it, but they don't want to run the 8-inch tire. They want to be on the F45, which is what they run at Florence.
Really, I thought they run 10-inch tires.
I thought they started and then they went to a F45.
F45.
Yeah, because that's what everybody could get. That's what they had
Yeah.
used sitting there, so everybody went to that. Because I was like, man, I'd love to see a old school.
Yeah, I like them in Florence. I hope they can get the cars from there to Cove, and maybe even add a couple. That would be a good weekly class to add, I think. Because there's some people who really do like that and say that they'll rather run that than a street stock.
I like it. I mean, I personally like it. I would love if the class build up something, because to me that. I know the Mass Street Stock Series and all the other Street Stock Series that's out there, the Stars, it's all great. I mean, those are great cars. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from them, but to me, that's not what Street Stock Racing was. Street Stock Racing was to me. You go to the junkyard. I mean, back in the day, you went to the junkyard, found an old car. Tear the interior out of it, put a roll cage in it, and I remember going with a guy. He ran dirt, but he ran a similar type class over at Sumter. We would go out to the junkyard, and this was early 2000s. We got to the junkyard, and he'd find tires out the junkyard for his race car to run on dirt because they had to run a DOT tire. So we would go out there and break down tires and. It was pretty cool. So I don't know. That's just what I think about as a street stock. I remember the days when they ran on, DOT tires, even on asphalt. Then they went to, at one point in time, it was you could only run the right front, a slick on the right front. You ran a I don't know what it was then, but like a F45 now. They only ran that on the right front, and then it became the right side, then it kind of went to all four, and the cars are really fast now, which is good. And I'm not taking anything away from them still, because them boys drive the dog out of them cars, but it took away, some of them boys had big motors in the cars way back then, and they really had to get it woed up in the corner because they was on a little tire and had to get it around the corner, and it was just fun to watch. Boy, kind of go in there and slide the car around and whatever. So I like that. So I hope that class does well at Dillon. I hope it does well at Florence. Hope it, and wherever else they run it. But so that'll be a good one. I feel like I'm wondering, and I don't know. Pete says he wants to see my new paint job. It won't be long. Hopefully here in about a week you'll see it. But I'm wondering if I kind of feel like late model rules at Dillon probably gonna stay similar, but I'm wondering if it's kind of getting to a point that a lot of these guys, now a lot of guys that run late models at Dillon, they just run late models at Dillon. But some of these boys, a lot of them run late model stock now. And there's not a ton of changes they got to make, but there is a good handful of changes they got to make to go from.
I would just brand it as a limited late model. I don't know. Because, I mean, you see Hickory has a good limited class. Couple tracks have good limiteds. And Dillon has a good late model class, but I think it's become a limited class, really, just because of how much late model stock has advanced, So maybe they rebranded or something, but I don't see much changes coming there.
I don't either. Yeah, that would be good, because if you did that at least, and kind of if they were on the same playing field as because they got right now they got 9 limited late model races scheduled for Florence Motor Speedway this year. That would be good. Those guys at least will run limited, can go over there because the car would be similar. That would be that'd be kind of cool. Let's see, Douglas. No, it ain't too bad here yet.
No, not as cold as it is in Buffalo right now.
No, I was watching a little bit of that game
Yeah.
there. So, dude, it was rough. So anyway, I think that's about it. Speaking of, how about that Kansas City Miami game the other night?
I can't imagine being that cold. -5, -10, whatever it was.
Me and Sterling, I was looking because it was about this week. I think it's been about 5 years ago now. Maybe not even that long. 4 or 5 years ago. We had to go up to Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. Like I said, it was right about now. And it was -6 up there with 24 inches of snow in one night we were there.
Dang.
And we went up to the lake up there. Which lake is that? One of them big old lakes. Great Lakes. And it looked like waves were coming in, but they were frozen. And it was like a foot thick of ice or more. Everywhere down there was frozen. We went to the Hard Rock Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. We were waiting on a part, and everything was frozen. I mean, it was so cold. So cold.
I don't think we've ever been in that cold weather, but it's...
Well, that's what I told...
I think maybe single digits or teens is about as cold as I've ever...
Well, it's like I told... Me and Sterling were talking about it because my mom was talking about it. And I said, negative temperatures, to me... Yeah, Lake Erie. That's it. Those negative temperatures don't necessarily feel that much colder, as far as... Or at least to me, just when I get about below 30, it's just cold.
Oh, below
it's
40 for me.
But it's just cold. But it really didn't feel that much colder. But you got colder quick. I mean, like your feet and hands, just like within a minute or two, were just like they were hurting because it felt so cold. So I don't know how anybody could catch a football.
No, I think I'd be in those heated jackets I have over there.
That's why I was telling. I said, them boys can play tough all they want to, but every time when them balls hit them in the hands from Patrick Mahomes, because he chunks the ball pretty hard, it had to sting something serious.
Well, getting hit, everything hurts more when
everything. It's cold. I mean, when your helmet breaks because it is frozen, it's too cold. It's too cold. Which, I mean, that wasn't the coldest football game I ever played.
No, not the coldest, but
it
was up there.
It wasn't much. It wasn't far from it, though. The Ice Bowl, which was Wisconsin. I can't remember who they played. But anyway, it was -11, I think, at the start of that game. I'm like, I'm not so much.
I don't think I could function.
And I'm not so much, whatever players out there, because they did say they had these huge heaters pointing at the benches, and they got it up to 40 degrees sitting on the bench. I was like, that's probably the warmest 40 degrees you ever felt in your life. But beyond that, that's fine. All well, good. How do you sit in the stands and watch it?
Yeah, pay money to do that too.
That's what I'm talking about.
A lot of money. Really.
Like, I don't get it.
I guess if you live up there all the time, you might be more used to it, but...
You get used to negative temperatures? I don't know.
Probably not, but maybe. I don't know. I don't think I have the clothing to do that.
It takes a lot. The funny part was when me and Sterling went up there and did that, we went and rode go-karts at a little indoor go-kart place, electric go-karts. But they had a garage door, a roll-up door at the back of it, and they had it kind of cracked open because they had these heaters going in there, and they were like really hot. But they had the door cracked open. Well, when you come around one of the turns and track, all of a sudden that door was right in front of you.
Get cold.
And that wind would hit you coming around there, and you like, oh, geez, it's like you froze instantly. It was terrible. But anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, well, it is time to go to the phone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the phone now, we got 2023 4-cylinder champion from Florence Motor Speedway. Actually, probably multiple time, Mr. Matt Briggs. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, what's up, guys? How are y'all?
We're lovely, man. We are chilling here in the shop, waiting for it to get cold outside. It's getting there.
Yes, it is.
So what's up with you, man? I saw y'all were at the awards banquet Saturday night. You have a big time up there, man?
Yeah, man. I tell you what, Steve and them, they did a heck of a job there with the banquet.
That's cool, man. We went last year. I didn't have much reason for going this year, unfortunately, but but we went last year. Man, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they say they don't know what they're doing, but they sure make it look like they do.
It looks professional. That is what I mean. It was very professional. I walked in there last year. I was like, man, I don't feel like I belong here.
Yeah, you see some places it looks like they're in like a little shed out back, and then you walk in there, you're like, whoa.
That's right. Well, man, I want to go back with you a little bit. First of all, I want you to kind of introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are, what you drive, and where you're from, all that good stuff.
All right, I'm at Briggs. I'm 30 years old now, and work down at Boeing in Charleston, South Carolina. We stay out here in Ridgeville, and basically run a Ford Mustang mini stock.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Ridgeville, South Carolina. I used to race go-karts there years ago. There was
it's a nice little quiet area.
It is.
It is blowing up now though.
I was fixing to say Charleston just goes that far now. I was down there last week. My son had to go to MUSC for a couple of days for a little surgery, and I come back and I was like, man, I remember when you got Ashley Phosphate coming out, that was kind of the end of it. Now, it just keeps on coming back with you.
Oh yeah, it's just continuing to grow.
Man, I tell you. Tell us a little bit about Boeing over there, man. What do you do at Boeing?
I actually started off in the joins, so I joined the nose to the mid body, and I did that for about 6 years. Learned a lot, and actually changed it up and did like a site response team. So we did like anything that was broke, pretty much. Gained a lot of knowledge. And just continuing with that right now.
All right. Without giving away, obviously, company secrets by no means, tell us something about one of them big old airplanes that y'all put out there that would just probably amaze us.
There is a crazy amount of bolts in that plane, I can tell you that.
Really? Man, that's crazy. I can believe it.
Yeah.
I can believe it. I can believe it. You sit there and think about it. I'm like, man, that probably is true. Oh, well, cool. Well, man, tell us a little bit about your racing career. Where'd you get started?
Actually started in go-karts. I was actually racing behind my parents' back. They didn't really know. With my buddy Brandon. And he was like, man, I'm done with it. So I kind of sold out and bought actually a Nissan 240, started with that, got some seat time, and realized that I needed a Mustang to be competitive,
There you go. When were you racing go-karts? About when was that?
Oh, man, I'd say 2012-ish.
Okay. So about 10, 11 years ago. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Believe it or not, I don't even know but Robert Schuler back then, he helped me out a lot at the go-kart days.
There you go. That's awesome, man. What'd you ride back then?
I actually had a Millennium Impulse, a 2010.
Millennium. I used to talk with them guys a lot back in the day. I was a Phantom guy for a long time. So yeah, I remember those days for sure. So you got into full size cars after that, racing the 4-cylinder 240. Tell us about where you started. Far as how your first couple seasons went there.
They were rough. They had a rookie class back then, so I guess it was a little. I don't know. It gave the young guns a better shot.
I got you.
Instead of racing with the veterans, but had some fun with that, and then decided that I actually enjoyed it, something I actually wanted to do, so invested a little more money, got the Mustang, and kept playing there at Florence.
Hey, that's all you can do, man. That's all you can do. Plug away. Yep. Plug away. I know you and Connor there have spent some quite a few laps on the track together. Connor, how's racing with Matt there?
Oh, it's good, man. He got the best of me many, many times in those 3 years. So I still chase him.
I think Connor would love to be back in a 4-cylinder some days.
I wish I could now. I would.
Yeah, I might have to put Connor in mine one time, man. I know he'd do a lot better.
No, not you, man. There ain't many better in mini stock. I don't believe. Man, you got it rolling.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, the past couple of years out there, I've watched you quite a bit because, you and let's see who else out there. I remember Truett. Miranda was you and Truett and Kevin. Kevin Jackson.
Yeah. Brandon in the 72.
Yeah. Man, y'all Brandon Johnson, that's it. Y'all put some of the best racing on at the track, period. I remember watching some races and y'all just kind of, you could tell it was respectful, but y'all just kind of trading bumpers back and forth. And, man, it was some of the most exciting racing I've seen at the track, period.
Yeah, I really do. I really do enjoy racing with those guys. They are respectful. I mean, granted, we might lay on each other every once in a while, but it's nothing like, oh, I'm gonna take you out. You know, it's very much fun.
I believe it, man. Y'all put on a show out there. So you kind of, like you said, your first couple seasons there was kind of rough, as everybody's is. When did you figure out? What do you think your turning point was? In going from, learning to, all right, this is what I need to feel in this car, and this is what I need to win.
Oh, man, I wish I could tell you, like, the exact thing, because I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing at times, I'm sure everyone has the feeling like you got that time where you don't know what to do, but I will say one thing I'm not scared to do is make a change, That's one thing that I feel like helped me out a lot. If even if we're the fastest and I feel like we can make a change to get better, we're gonna do it,
Okay.
Whereas when I first started, I would be scared if we're third, I'm tickled pink, So I wouldn't touch it. I'd be scared I'd mess it up.
That's right. I hear you there. Now you gotta do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah, I have had a lot of help from some very, very knowledgeable people too. So I don't want to sit there and say I know everything. I don't by any means.
Man, I remember one of the first days I went out to test the Legend car over at Florence. Y'all were over there testing too, and I remember that day y'all come in because we were kind of parked right over beside y'all. Y'all come in and, like you said, y'all were making changes. It was like, change this, change that, change. Let's see what it does. That's how you got to learn, man. You got to figure out which way your car, because every car is different for one thing, and every driver is different. So you got to figure out what you like and what your car likes and what's going to feel best to you. So I recommend that to anybody out there. If you don't like the way it feels, go to a test day and make some big changes. See how all that feels. But I got a question here on the Facebook for you. It says, ask you about how you won that Myrtle Beach track championship. Tell us about that.
Oh man, I can't even take credit for that one because I had help there too. But just being consistent, that's what I could say, and having decent equipment.
That's what it takes.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. That is what it takes for sure. Well, cool, man. All right. Well, we are rolling into 2024. You had a good run at the Bash here. Tell us a little bit about the Bash, man, because you were you got into a mix up there early. What was that, first lap? I think it was first lap. Yeah, and I know you put on Facebook that you just wanted to pull in, and they had to calm you down. But tell us about your race, man.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone knows the Bash is always a little risky. I mean, you gotta be willing to pretty much. It's a big risk, The car could be done at that race. If you don't play your cards right, or something doesn't go well, but we just got lucky, I guess you could say. The car was decent. I honestly feel like if people didn't break AJ or Michael Tucker, I feel like we had a fifth place car. I mean, it was decent, but those guys right there, you got to be on top of your game.
For sure. There's always a good crowd that comes to the bash for sure, in every class. So you got to be, like you said, you got to be on top of it there. So, but yeah, you made it back to where'd you make it back? Third?
Yeah, I can't believe it, to be honest. We got lucky, or I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
Hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Sometimes.
Don't get me wrong, we had a decent car. We just always seem to struggle at Dillon. It's hard to get around there.
That's what I was fixing to ask you, man. Which I mean, you run good regardless. But you're obviously good enough to win a track championship, win multiple races over at Florence Motor Speedway. You come over to Dillon some. We were just kind of talking about before you came on, kind of differences in some rules packages for other classes and stuff. But far as you and far as 4-cylinder, what do you think it takes? You coming from Florence over to Dillon and running that track. What's really different for you over there?
Dillon is just, it's such a tight racetrack. I've never come off of Dillon's like, oh, I got a free race car. It's always shoving the nose. So I don't know. I wish I could tell you what you need to do for Dillon, but I'm still trying to figure it out.
Just got to figure out how to make that thing rotate.
Yeah, it's got to rotate fast too.
That's right. Trust me, we fight the same thing in the legend car, especially every time we're over there trying to make center corner speed and not push off and or not push center and be free off or just something crazy constantly. Well, cool, man. All right, well, 2024 is coming up, or 2024 is here. So what's your plans for racing this year?
I know we'll be at Florence for sure. I don't know if we'll be there every race, but we'll be there to play around, have a good time. We'll definitely be at Dillon. I want to show face at Bowman Gray one time, just to say, hey, we've been there.
That'd be sweet.
I would love to try Carway.
There you go.
Carway.
There you go.
And maybe, I don't know, just try somewhere I've never been before.
That's cool, man. Cool deal. Well, let everybody know who helps you out on that car.
I got to thank my dad. He helps me out a lot. Anything I need, he runs around all the time during the week for me. Smoking Meats Barbecue. And there is a few more in the works, but I don't want to mention them yet until everything's finalized.
There you go. Well, good deal, man. Well, I appreciate you jumping on here with us today, man, and best of luck here in 2024, and we'll be seeing you at the track here soon, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem, man. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good one.
Take it easy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Briggs, 2023. I think it was 2020. I think. Did he win 2022?
I think he did.
Yeah. Multiple time track champion over at Florence Motor Speedway, Myrtle Beach Speedway. He's been running 4-cylinders a while now, and like I said, man, him and Kevin Jackson, especially there, on a weekly basis at Florence, a lot of times are up front putting on a great show. I remember one race. I can't remember if it was this past year or end of 2022. I can't remember. Anyway, they somehow took each other out. Or spun each other, or one spun the other, and they both had to go to the back. And they still both came back to the front.
Probably splitting people 3 wide and everything.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty cool to watch. And like I said, best of luck to our buddy Matt Briggs there in 2024. But next off, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank all of our help that comes on here every week. SRI Performance. Guys, they are your one-stop shop for all things racing. I was getting up kind of a list myself of some things I need for this year. So I know all these, like we said, rules meetings come up and all that good stuff. So whatever comes up, make sure you head over to SRI Performance, www.sriperformance.com. Get on there, fill up that cart, get everything you need. At time of checkout, put promo code CBONE10. That's C as in
Chicken.
BONE10. Get yourself 10% off there at time of checkout. Same deal over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, guys. Make them things look good. Make them structurally safe. I saw some stuff from the Chili Bowl we'll talk about here in a minute this past week that I didn't feel like was so safe sometimes. But anyway, head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Get everything you need material-wise to make them great. So y'all head over there. Also, Profab headers and exhaust, ladies and gentlemen. They are quality that wins. They had wins at the Chili Bowl. They have wins every week on whatever track their stuff racing on. That from your local short track all the way up to NASCAR. Profab headers and exhaust, your way to go. Not only do they sound good, not only do they look good, but they perform great too. So Profab headers and exhaust, they are quality that wins. Also, Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Y'all head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Get everything you need for this year as far as your horsepower needs. I don't care if you're running a crate motor all the way up to a super motor in a dirt super late model. He's got everything you need. So y'all head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. He can build it for you. Get some time on his chassis dyno also. Definitely helps out a lot. Find all kind of stuff to make horsepower or what's robbing your horsepower. Always helpful. So head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Check them out. All right. Well, like I said, did you watch any Chili Bowl?
I actually watched a lot of prelims. I didn't see the main thing.
You didn't?
No, but I watched.
Main was horrible.
Really?
Yeah, main was horrible.
I'm not a. I mean, I like dirt racing. I'm an asphalt guy for sure.
yeah,
but the only I just can't get into the micros and the midgets as much.
Really?
I do respect it as a pretty cool thing to watch.
It's a spectacle.
Well,
It's not a race.
Yeah, what made the main so?
Track rubbered up. Like it was rubbered up like lap one.
So
I'm like, why didn't y'all?
They didn't rework it.
No, not like it needed to be. They were driving them like slow go-karts around there.
Just trying to grab a little bit of grip along that little.
That's all they were doing. Just they roll in the corner, tried to keep the car absolutely straight as they could, and just roll that inside berm. And it wasn't a fun race to watch. I think there was only 2 caution flags. Nothing. One was lap 1, and one was like lap 50 to 55.
Wow.
It wasn't. I don't know. It just wasn't that great. But leading up to it, kind of how the big news of the week over there was Kyle Larson decided to very last minute, wanted to run. Like when I say last minute, everybody was already there. I think they'd already run like the first night of it, and then he decided he wanted to run. So he called Keith Coons, and he said he probably knew he had a few extra cars with him. So he asked, hey, what would it take to let me get in one? He said, let me make a couple phone calls. We'll make it happen. And so he sent his seat and a throttle pedal. I'm like, well, different throttle pedal make that much.
I guess
if you're used to one style, yeah. I guess so. So that's what he sent. Because Larson was out at the Wild West Shootout, out in Vado. Was that New Mexico? I think it is.
Sounds like a New Mexico town.
It is. And so he comes there and realizes he forgot his whole gear bag.
Oh man, I didn't know that part of the story.
Yeah, realized he forgot his whole gear bag. But fortunately, the guy who's promoter for the Wild West Shootout, his son wanted to come too. So Kyle called him and was like, hey, I will book you a commercial flight to be here first thing in the morning if you'll bring my gear bag. So he did. He should have left it all at Vado because I don't think...
How did he do? I didn't even...
He flipped in
I did see a
his
video of that.
he flipped in his heat race, his first heat. Come up now. His B main was great. He drove from the back all the way up to second, which made it into the A for that night. He needed to get to second in the A to lock in for Saturday night. He ended up hitting the wall and flipping again.
Wow.
He claimed something broke, but if you watch the video, I think Kyle Larson's one of the best drivers out there, period, ever. But I don't know what happened. He come off turn and just kind of went up the I ain't gonna say the berm up there, but kind of not the cushion, but it was kind of on the straightaway where it's kind of some dirt built up, and he kind of like jumped it, hit the wall, and just rolled over. Not a very bad.
And they roll off anything.
Yeah, I mean, like So, yeah, that was his, and that was the end of his chili ball. There was another guy there who I saw. Well, there was two. One, don't know what happened. He was in one of the flips with Larson. When Larson flipped, he was the one he got into it with. They had a still photo from him. Somebody like really slowed down the video, and when you see him coming down, his helmet is on top of his head. Like the whole bottom of that should be here was here. And they claimed it was strapped and everything. I'm like, then how did it get up there? I guess it could slip around your chin or whatever.
You didn't have it tight.
But he was showing like back here he had all these marks. I'm like, I think that come from your headrest. I don't think that necessarily come from that because it should have been. He claimed the Hans was clipped in good and everything. So I don't know how that would happen. No, there isn't. But
saw the guy that flipped trying to make his next race come to the line. He got him.
Yeah,
he passed him. I think he tore it up so bad he
couldn't get in. Yeah, there was another guy who flipped, and when he flipped, I guess his belts must have come undone.
Didn't that happen?
Happened last year too. Boy fell out the car last year. This year he didn't fall out the car. But when it landed, like his arm, like how they got the panel up on the side, his arm was like up over the panel and all this stuff. And I'm like, yo.
That's the one car I don't think you'd ever get me in any kind of sprint car.
There's a lot of opportunity for
it's just
bad stuff to happen, it seems like. I would love to get in one. I'd love to get in one. I don't know what I'd like to race one, but I'd love to practice one. I'd probably still find a way to flip it.
Well, I mean, you watch them all the time. They hit a rut and start flipping.
Well, that's the thing is it doesn't take another car for them to flip. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take running into somebody.
Yeah.
But it was I don't know, Thomas Mesereau got kicked out of the place. It was funny. Well, no, not really. What he said was, and they said he threw something at the official. Well, what he said was, I mean, you got to go both sides, and I could see this happening. He said, you know how some seat belts have the ratchet down at the bottom to really tighten them? Mm-hmm. Well, he says that's what he has, and it's got a little wrench on it, like that clips in, so he tightens it up. And he said what happened was when he landed, he was trying to get his seatbelts undone. That thing fell and kind of hit him or whatever, and he just kind of grabs it and tosses it out the way. And I guess an official was standing there and thought he threw it at him, but I don't know. He said it didn't really make a difference anyway because his night was done because Cannon McIntosh took out everybody. Everybody he got to. The boos were so bad. I mean, I missed that. It rivaled any old Kyle Busch intro. It was hilarious. And he was like, "What? Why? I don't." But he had hit everything out there. T-Mez called him "Can't Drive Cannon McIntosh." So, but beyond that, yeah, like I said, I didn't. I'm trying. Logan Seavey won. Driving for Kevin Swindell, those guys. I think that's 2 in a row now for them. So good deal.
Yeah,
good deal. Cool for them.
I just can't imagine being in a I mean, I know there's a bunch of cars there, but qualifying, I know you're starting in Maine or something.
As they call it,
crazy.
alphabet soup.
Oh yeah, but just to think,
They have an award for
who advances the farthest.
Yeah, who comes from the deepest to the. And there's been ones that go from
sure
really deep.
Yeah,
man, that's tough to do because even if you win,
you started back in the next.
You started back in the next one. So, and they only run like it depends which one it is, but someone's like 8 laps on a not even quarter-mile track. They say it's quarter-mile, but I don't think it's that big. It's just like a little circle. So, man, I'd love to go to it one year, though.
Yeah, that's cool to see a race inside.
Yeah, especially when it was, I think one day, the last day they were there, it was like 12 outside. So, I don't know. Be cool. I'd like to go watch it. I want to go watch it, and I want to go to the Dome, watch the dirt race.
I'd rather go there, I think, if I had my choice. But
yeah, that'd be fun.
Kind of same idea, but different.
Well, they ran the midgets on at the Dome the first year, I think it was. And everybody kind of came because it was a similarly length track. Yeah. But they quit running. I guess the track broke up so bad and it got so bumpy. Midgets would just
late models digging into
fall over when they come in the corner. Anyway, everybody, I want to thank Fresh Chef coming on with us this year for sure. If you are in the Race City area, head up to Fresh Chef. Tell them we sent you. And got some of the best food you'll ever eat up there. That's some good stuff for sure. So if you want, I love their shrimp and grits personally. Their ribeye steak, man, it's all so good. So head up to Fresh Chef. You won't regret it at all. Also, RevMax Racing Apparel guys, they got me suited up. Actually washed my suit the other day for the first time. Lizzie was picking at me last week. She said, "Hey, y'all wear white suits." She said, "You must wash yours every week." I was like, "No, I hadn't washed it at all yet." I'm I ain't gonna say superstitious, but I'm one.
I have to wash mine after every because I wear it.
Do you wash it?
Yeah,
every time. I should probably. I used to when I was younger. I wouldn't wash my race go-karts. I wouldn't wash my jacket all year.
Yeah, well, if it's something I can take off, I wouldn't worry about it. But usually when I put it on, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Especially how hot it can be most of the race season.
But regardless, thing looks great. So y'all head over to RevMax Racing Apparel, guys, and get all the, from anything from kart suits to our multi-layer suits that we need for our SFI ratings in the big cars. So y'all head over to RevMax Racing Apparel. Get suited up. Also, MPM Marketing, guys. If you are... If you're getting in the game or been in the game for a while, but you need that next step in your marketing help, head over to marketwithmpm.com. Get with Tanya over there. She knows it all when it comes to this world of racing as far as the marketing side of it. She's got some of the best in the business with her. Knows everybody that you need to know, especially in this racing game. So head over to, like I said, www.marketwithmpm.com. Tell me I sent you. Cool. What else we got? We got the Wild West Shootout. Yep. Bobby Pierce and Cade Dillard dominated everything out there pretty much. Cade Dillard not only he won modified, he won I think the first night of the late models or first couple nights. Then Bobby Pierce come up in the late models, kind of won everything. Then the final night, Kyle Larson steps up. He had a rough week out there. He had kind of blown tires or had a shot break or all kind of crazy stuff and just was getting terrible starting position. There was one night he made it from like 22nd to 5th. He had a stupid fast car, as always, but he just couldn't catch a break. Yeah. So he finally won.
Didn't Pierce blow a tire?
Yeah, Pierce blew a tire. I don't know if he might have. I don't know. But I don't know if he would have beat Bobby. Bobby was fast. That was the only thing that could stop Bobby Pierce. I feel like he's gonna be fast this year.
Yeah,
he was fast last year, but I feel like he's going
next level.
Yeah, I think this is his year coming up. He kind of turned it on there at the end of second half of 2024. He's always good, but he turned it on, and I think between him and Brandon Shepherd this year on the dirt side is going to be tough.
Oh yeah,
Them Longhorns,
they always are.
They always are, but them Longhorns are really. Brandon Shepherd's, I think, got a year under him with Longhorn, and kind of I don't even know if it's a year now. I don't think it's a year, but he kind of got it all up under him and kind of knows what he needs now. He won the Dome, so we'll see. We'll see. Beyond that, what else we got, Connor?
Not a whole lot. Caraway's racing a couple weeks.
Oh, it is right.
Whatever their winter shootout or heat, whatever, what's something called something.
Yeah,
but other than that, we wait on the Clash. I guess the Clash at the Coliseum.
It's like the first
week of February, I think. Yep. A little bit
You
of
excited about it?
I don't hate it. I don't dislike it as much as some people do. I don't think it's. I don't know. I think it's okay. I don't think there's a big market for NASCAR in the West Coast. I don't believe.
They announced the concert. Did you see who the previous concert was?
I saw the guy. I don't know.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that part. I wish if they didn't do stupid stuff like that, I'd like it a lot more. But
I think I'm not trying to be
mid-race concert. No, pre-race, whatever. Do whatever you want there.
Whatever.
Mid-race, I don't really like that.
I'm not trying to be whatever. I'm not trying to be so old school that I can't get into what's new. I'm not trying to be that. I really not. Because I'm fine for new stuff coming along that's going to better the sport. But I really feel like, especially with that particular race, I mean, fine if they want to do it, whatever, go for it. But I really feel like with that particular race and the way they go about it, they're trying to market to a group that doesn't really care about NASCAR.
No. And I still think it's cool just to see cars going around.
Oh, it is
a NASCAR race and call it,
That's cool. I just some of the racing sometimes just
was not
very
great.
Bowman great.
Yeah,
you just go in there and
I'm glad it's a non-points race for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think it's kind of run its course, and I said that about the Roval as well. But I'd say make this the last year. It's still cool to watch cars, go through the tunnel to get to the racetrack and all. It's a cool spectacle. But I agree. I don't think there's a NASCAR race in Los Angeles. I don't think that's the most successful.
Speaking of, this is a thought I had the other day. NASCAR is kind of looking for because they don't have Fontana right now. We don't really know.
I think they are tearing it up right now. So
they're tearing the back up at least.
They're not going back to the 2 mile.
They're not going back to the 2 mile. Yeah, the back stretch is gone. From what I gather, basically turn 1, 2, 3, and 4, all but the front straightaway and pit road, pretty much are gone as far as racetrack. But we still don't really have a time frame on it. I'm obviously not 2024. Obviously, I mean, because it's not on schedule. Possibly 2025 could be back. I'm kind of doubting myself.
I don't know if it'll ever get done. If it's been this long, where they hadn't made up their mind.
Right. But my question is, with Kevin Harvick bought into Kern County. Kern County is a nice facility.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice facility. Already has safer barriers. You feel like they could possibly?
I feel like trucks could. I don't know if a NASCAR Cup would
so?
ever go there. I wish they'd stayed at Auto Club. I wish you could pick up Auto Club and move it to the southeast because it was an awesome track.
It was. It was a pretty cool track. The older it got, the better it got.
For sure. It aged great.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't know if there's a big audience on the West Coast as there is. And I think there could be, but I don't know that there is right now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, and I don't disagree with you on that fact.
I'd like to see a shoot. I mean, at this rate, you can go and put a cup there, and it probably.
Well, that's
a sold out Kern will look better than a.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. But that's my thing is okay. Y'all want to be in the Southern California market that bad? And that's what they say. We have to be there. That's how NASCAR puts it. We have to be in the Southern California market, and we want multiple times a year. Why not try it?
Is Kern Southern? I thought Kern was more northern.
It's kind of more central. I think it is. But
I mean, it's a racetrack already there for you, so
that's what I'm saying. It's kind of more central. So yeah, you're technically not in Southern California, but they want it close to LA. But it's not exactly close to LA. But it's California market.
yeah.
I feel like you probably got a better market in Central California than you do in Southern California, in my opinion. But that's my thing. Is like, why not try it? What you got to lose?
Oh yeah, I'd rather see you there than some of these other places. So
That's right.
I definitely give it a try. I think send trucks to Xfinity because they're better short track racing right now. Anyway.
I really think truck race put on a really good race there.
Oh yeah,
I'd be jam up. Anyway, all right. Well, we'll see who else we can get on for these few off weeks here. I got some cool stuff coming up. Was actually just on the messaging about before the show here. So we'll have some cool stuff coming up. Still working on the new studio area over there. We got some heat in there yesterday. Well, kind of. I mean, yeah, we got heat in there.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Okay.
Still got to kind of permanently install it, but it's so. Which
cool deal.
which he didn't. We've needed it the past few, but it's normally not our deal.
A long time frame we have to have it for sure.
No. So hope to be getting some air conditioner over there soon. Got up most of the insulation. Be putting up some panel. Gonna put up some paneling and then do some figuring out exactly how we want to set it up over there.
Cool deal.
So maybe here in next month or two.
Yeah.
Hopefully so. So but we'll have it all up ready to go eventually. Not gonna rush it.
Oh,
I want to get there,
we'll
but
have
I'm not gonna rush it. I want to do it right.
I agree.
So anyway, want to thank Matt Briggs for coming on again. Anybody else out there, if you have any suggestions, especially local guys, we tried to talk to some national guys a lot, but local guys, anybody got any suggestions? Or if you want to get on the show, if you want to tell us about your racing operation and how you started, all that fun stuff, kind of how we did with Matt today, a little bit of everybody. We want to get a few of y'all on, especially here while we got these few more off weeks. We'll be talking about the icebreaker coming up here soon at Florence. We'll have a few more things going on. Not much, and then we got about a month off between there and the next race almost. So anybody wants to jump on with us, come on, let us know. We'll be glad to have you on and talk to you each week. Have some shorter shows here the first of this year, and then we'll get back into it once the racing season starts, or really going. So, but want to thank Matt for coming on today. Also, all our affiliates out there: SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, Profab Headers and Exhaust, Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Fresh Chef, Dixie Made also. Dixie Made, got to touch on them. Dixie Made, guys, head over to Dixie Made right here in Florence, South Carolina, right by the flea market. Guys, you want some of the best clothing brands out there, especially people around here like. I call it good Southern apparel. You got Southern Fried Cotton. You got I'm trying to think of Simply Southern. The ladies like. So y'all head over to and all kind of other sunglasses, everything from hats, sunglasses, shirts, shorts, jackets, pullovers, everything in between, and accessories. Y'all head over to Dixie Made. Also, NPM Marketing, RevMax Racing Apparel. Appreciate everybody that helps us out here going into 2024 season. So appreciate all y'all for coming on, hanging out with us. And what else you got, Connor?
That's about it, really.
All right, guys. Well, I reckon we will be talking with y'all next week. Have a good one.
Later.